from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype. It's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Co-host, Ed Kaluka. Featuring dangerous Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the program. No matter where you are listening, we are spread out over the state of Wisconsin as we usually are. Todd Bailing in Greendale, joined by my three partners, beginning with the longest tenured Ed Kaluka of West Bend, Wisconsin. Morning, Eddie.
Morning.
Are you feeling better?
I'm feeling better. I'm coming out from under this stupid stuff, but the pneumonia's going away.
All right, beautiful. Dan Margetta in a parking lot somewhere.
Yeah, it should be in Las Vegas. That was the original plan, but the high airfare nixed that a while ago. But I'm going to park it right in Germantown, Wisconsin, waiting to meet some people right after the show. Going to go to the Brewer game, hopefully watch them clinch the Central Division, and I'll be there from the third row.
Good luck with that. And Brian Schmidt of Ootsburg, Wisconsin, and not far from the most famous golf course on the face of the earth. Hi, Brian.
Yeah, we're at this is the sports capital of the world. Anybody that always rips on Wisconsin for not being a sports, hub, we are the sports hub in 2021. I mean, we have a cup race, we have every series of motorsports, we have the world champion Bucks, we have the soon to be, NL Central champion Brewers, and we have the Ryder Cup, which is going on today up here. I was there on Friday. Yeah, it's busy around here. There's helicopters flying over my house left and right here as they bring people in. It's a big day up here.
Whatever you do, don't mention football.
We're not going to mention.
The only time I'm going to mention football is right away now because, of course, you think, oh, we got a late Packer game on a Sunday night. Well, we'll be able to watch the race in the afternoon, won't we? Well, no, that isn't exactly the way it's going to work. The race is televised on NBCSN, and the green flag is at 6:19 Central Time, late afternoon, early evening. Coverage begins right here on the Big 920 at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yes, you will be flipping back and forth between the race and the 49ers kicking the Packers' ass up and down the football field.
Shame on you.
I know it. I just have a bad feeling. I get it after watching, college football on Saturday and then dreaming of what's coming on Sunday. We got a lot of other things to be happy about other than football. So that's what we can look forward to. And if you'd like to join in on this positive conversation, you can do so at our number, which is 414-421-7901. And we encourage our longtime listeners, and we know you're out there, to give us a call and weigh in on any of the goings on in the world of NASCAR. Of course, the second round of the playoffs begins. Kyle Larson will start from the pole. Kyle Larson is the point leader. He's also the odds-on favorite to win today's race. It seems to me that even though he is the favorite, and it probably should be, it seems to me Kyle Busch at his hometown track, where he always comes in with an attitude, would be one of the guys that we would look for today. I also believe that after last week, and as bad as Kevin Harvick looked after the race, looked aged, arguing with a young guy and trying to make him look bad and being booed off the track, and as the crowd is cheering the most popular driver, Chase Elliott, today would be a really good day for Harvick to have a good showing, and I got a funny feeling he's going to. I might be wrong. The Fords really have to step up here. We're going to lose Fords if we don't look out.
I think you're right. I think Harvick and the whole Stewart-Haas thing is starting to turn it on a little bit. I mean, I don't know if they're completely where they were last year. As far as Kyle Busch, if you look at his 550 horsepower stats versus the 750 horsepower stats, he's way better on the 550 tracks. So, I mean, he should be pretty good today. Larson, this is where he got his first win for Hendrick, and this is kind of what kicked everything off this year. It's kind of made him a championship contender. I was there. I saw it. It was complete domination. So I think that's a pretty good analogy you got there.
Yeah, and of course, the Toyotas are lurking. You like to think, boy, they really didn't have a very good year, but actually, it would be hard to count them out. Martin Truex has been pretty stout, and whether
but not on the 550 track, so he's been really good on the 750 track.
Right.
But it's a big flip flop between the two if you look at the stats at the analytics.
Boy, analytics. You thought it was just for baseball. It's not. It's for racing. I know, Dan, you study those analytics. I tried to do it. I just don't really get the whole picture with the thing.
I try it, and use it. You try to play those DraftKings contests and stuff to use that to kind of your advantage. And all it's done for you so far this year is get me to pick 6 guys that could crash. This seems to happen every week.
Yeah, it happened yesterday, I guess, in the Xfinity race, right?
Yeah, and the trucks.
Oh God. Speaking of which, it's been a big full weekend at Las Vegas. Yesterday in the Xfinity Series, Josh Berry, who has turned into a fan favorite, he got a part-time ride with Junior Motorsports to wait until Sam Mayer turned 18. Sam has had absolutely nothing but the worst luck on earth since he's taken over that 8 car. And in the meantime, you kind of are rooting for Josh Berry a little bit because then he jumps into a car that has not done very much. Annette's car, the 1 car, it's a non-playoff team and driver, and they go out and win the race yesterday in a very impressive fashion. Josh Berry is I hope he hangs around. There's a story brewing today too. We're not real sure where this has gone yet. Oh, by the way, in the truck series, Christian Eckes has won the truck race on Friday night. Johnny Sauter was 3rd. I didn't even get to see where the rest of the local boys turned out there. Did you happen to catch that, Brian?
I'm looking for it right now, but
okay.
Derek was like 12th, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Derek Kraus.
Johnny was 4th. Yep,
Yeah.
Johnny
I
was
thought he
4th.
Okay.
Derek was 12th, and those were the 2. Yeah, those were our 2 main guys in there.
All right. Well, we are looking right now. There's a story brewing which is kind of humorous. Chase Briscoe and his wife. He's on baby watch. His wife is getting ready to have a baby. He was home. He missed the team flight because he wanted to stay with his wife as long as he could. Well, I don't know why all of a sudden he thinks it's a good idea to leave and go to Vegas. If you're going to stay and miss the flight, you might as well stay home for the baby being born. But no, he got onto a commercial flight. Now, there are problems with the commercial flight. I'm going to have to look for that here. He sent out a text this morning. Oh, here it was. Not a tweet. Flying commercial to Vegas this morning since I'm in baby watch, and the team plane left yesterday. Got on the plane, then we got delayed because it hit a bird. Now the computer system is out, and they're taking us back to the gate. Now that was at 6:45 Eastern time this morning. We haven't seen anything else from him, so I have a funny feeling he caught a different plane.
Yeah, because that flight eventually got canceled, and he was looking for a flight out, and people were tweeting him back, hey, try this flight, there's seats on this one. And he said he got another one. We'll see what happens. I don't know if he got in the air or not.
With any luck, he is in the air right now, but Chase Briscoe on his way to Vegas after waiting as long as he possibly could. There is a space for you if you'd like to weigh in. We'd love to have you call. 414-421-7901. We're going to take a break and be back.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Attention race fans, Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin now has 2022 season passes available at discount pricing. The earlier you buy, the more you save, and it makes a great gift for yourself or the motorsport enthusiast on your list. This includes over 50 days of action-packed racing, including NASCAR Cup Series, IndyCar, Moto America, and IMSA Sports Car. Don't wait. Get your 2022 Road America season discounted passes today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
This weekend, we're in Vegas.
Start your engines! Let's go!
Crank him up, Hayden. Crank him up.
It's the South Point 400.
Here comes Larson. He's going to make a move quickly on Harvick. Larson to the inside, and to the outside is William Byron.
Truex drops down to the bottom of the racetrack. Hamlin goes back up to the top side. Now it's three wide. Harvick, McDowell, Chase Elliott in turn one.
A little Sunday night action. Coverage starts at 5 on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR. The Big 920 and Big920.com.
We love Aaron Baird. He's one of our longtime listeners, and he comments on our Facebook page. And he pointed out the ThorSport team was 1, 2, 3, 4 on Friday. Around these parts, we would like to think that Ty Majeski had a little something to do with that. He is the shock specialist and one of the engineers for ThorSport and part-time driver, oh, by the way. And then
the finish of the race was kind of the white flag came out, and then there was a yellow, and Johnny Sauter was coming. I think he'd have finished probably about at least maybe second.
Really?
Yeah, he took tires at the end, and nobody else did. So he was really rolling on new tires and was running the top 4 down. I don't know if he would have caught the leader, but he might have. I agree with that. He could have got second. But then somebody crashed back in the pack on a white flag, and they went yellow, which ended the race right there.
Oh, geez. And then, of course, Junior Motorsports was 1, 2, 3 yesterday. And Aaron's question was, will it be Hendrick or Gibbs today, maybe to sweep the top couple of spots and keep this streaking alive?
Vegas is full of streaks, right? I mean, you're on a roll in Vegas. You keep going with it. Who knows? But that truck race was interesting because all the championship guys that had problems. I mean, your favorites like John Hunter Nemechek and Sheldon Creed are the top 2 trucks all year long. Both had problems. Nemechek had engine problems, and Creed had a massive wreck. I mean, he was one of those drive-through at Cole moments. He went low to miss a wreck and just blasted the 18 truck at full song. So those guys are really behind the 8 ball now as we go to Talladega, I think, next.
And then,
that
of
was
course,
a hell of a wreck. I mean, the way I don't know where he thought he was going. The 18 was coming down across the racetrack, and he tried to fit it in that hole and really blasted him. That car had a big truck, went up in flames, and yeah, that's a hell of a wreck.
And it's still pretty great that Josh Berry is up there. I cannot believe how bad Sam Mayer's luck has been since he has taken over full-time that 8 car in the Xfinity
I was listening to
Series.
him when that happened.
Oh.
And it was just he was doing a really good job, and it was just coming back to green, and you could hear Johnny Sauter's spotter said, "Oh, God." And I knew it.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. He said the kid could not have avoided what happened in front of him. It just all unfolded right in front of him. He had no place to go but wreck.
See, I wonder what that
Someday-
does. What does that do for next year with that team? You know, they almost have like one extra guy there now if Annette stays around. You know, with Barry, Allgaier, now Sam, and Gregson, all those guys there. Like there's like 5 drivers there with 4 cars. Right now, it looks like maybe Annette might be the guy out, but he brings the sponsor. So we'll see what's up there.
2 things. You can have as many as you want, right? You don't. It's not a 4-car maximum.
You got to have funding for all those teams, and that's the thing. You know, what kind of funding is Sam going to bring enough funding to run a full season? You know, for Junior. Junior is quoted in saying, you know, these cars don't run themselves, so I need funding in order to bring these to the table. Josh Berry doesn't bring anything, but man, the kid can drive. I mean, it was a couple weeks, maybe a couple months back, he almost won a race.
It's his second win.
Yeah, I mean, driving for Annette. He filled in for Annette. I want to say maybe it was Michigan. Is that where he was filling in for Annette? I think it was. And he darn near won that race, and now he finally did it in Annette's car. So Annette brings the money. It's just a matter of how much money does he bring.
And what exactly is wrong with Annette?
Something
he
with
broke
his
leg. Right? I think he had a surgery after breaking his leg, and it's been complications from that, they said.
Oh, well, first thing is we have to hope the young man is okay, because these, here complications that can never be good. It's not a positive word, but you can see it's funny, the situation. Josh Berry, first of all, he has all these extra fans suddenly that when he took over, when Sam Mayer took over his ride, and they could see how good Josh Berry was, and now he's out of a ride. So now he's got all these extra fans. Now he jumps into Annette's car and shows how good he really is, because Annette doesn't do anything in that car, in the car that his family has sponsored for a long time, or has followed him around with sponsorship. So all of a sudden, Josh Berry is a pretty popular driver. I won't say he's young. Guy's like 30 years old, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's done it the way it used to be done, by talent and coming through and just grinding it out at all different levels. It's kind of cool to see him have an opportunity, and it's even way more cooler to see him take that opportunity and run with it and actually make something of it. So, I mean, I'm kind of rooting for him to stick around.
No kidding. And
he's a favorite of Junior's, because Junior discovered him in a late model series down south, and then saw what he was doing in the equipment he was in, and then Junior started providing cars for him there, and the two of them got a romance going.
Yeah, and it's
kind of neat how Josh Berry. It's kind of neat how that worked out last night. Josh was able to win that Xfinity race, where if he was not running that Xfinity race, the Super Bowl of the late model stocks was last night at Martinsville, and that's probably where he would have been if he wouldn't have had this opportunity. So he took a night when he had to skip their biggest race, and then he went out and won anyway. So that was kind of neat to see.
It's awesome. You betcha. And since we're talking about the Xfinity series anyway, it's kind of strange to me that Daniel Hemrick has given Joe Gibbs, he didn't get fired. He's quitting, and he's going over to the Colleague team. He's going to take over the number 11 car next year. And apparently, Dan, he's the one that brings the sponsorship. Is Poppy Bank?
I think so. I think that's going with him. And it's interesting there is he has yet to win in the Xfinity Series. I mean, he's got second a bunch of times, and he's good enough to do it. Just hasn't closed the deal. And he's been now with, Junior Motorsports, Childress Racing, Gibbs, and now he's going to go to Colleague. I mean, those are all the top teams in the series. So you kind of got to, turn the corner and get that first victory, because it's starting to loom pretty big out there.
And remember, he's already had 1 year in the Cup Series for Childress too. So. Yeah, you're right. It would be nice to see. And he's such a cool guy. He raced at the Slinger Nationals, and we got to talk to him a little bit. And just a nice kid all the way around, and he got some talent. And he sponsored a bunch of laps even at Slinger when we were 2 years ago.
And it makes sense that Colleague is going to be wanting a guy to bring a sponsor in, because they're losing one of their big sponsors. Nutrient Ag Solutions is pulling out. That's the car Jeb Burton's been driving. So Jeb Burton is going to be on the outside looking in. So with Hemrick coming in and bringing money, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Colleague Motorsports.
Colleague is, what an up and coming company, right?
Yeah, they're going Cup racing next year.
Yeah, Cup racing, and they got more money coming in, and their drivers are all doing good, and it's pretty amazing that we don't get too many new team owners that come in and make a splash, but this Colleague has certainly done that, and good for him. What the hell? Fellas, in the news this week, the biggest newsworthy item and it's kind of a head scratcher to me anyway. Chip Ganassi, we know that he already sold his charters. He sold his equipment. I don't even think it has nothing to do with selling, but we're going to tell you more about what old Chip Ganassi's been up to when we come back from this break. But oh my goodness, who's going to buy everything?
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
This week on NASCAR Live, we talk NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs.
And when you're in these playoffs, every point's going to matter. Every point's going to count. And I'm excited to see what we're able to pull off, what we're able to do. And we put ourselves in a good position the last couple of years, and I hope that we can do the same thing again this year, but maybe up the ante a little bit whenever we get to Phoenix for the final round.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Tuesday night following Jim Trado and Racing Roundup on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR, the Big 920 and Big920.com.
So Chip Ganassi is going to keep his IndyCar operation going, but of course that's in Indianapolis. He did have a 22-acre complex in Concord, not Mooresville, where many of the teams are located. And this week, of all people to buy it, Ganassi sold everything that was left to Rick Hendrick. Now, I'm just trying to figure out what the logic is behind that myself. First of all, why is Hendrick looking to purchase more property, or is it just because anything that's for sale, he might as well buy it?
I think that's true. There's no other reason. And I don't think he's buying Chip Ganassi's building. He's buying 22 acres of land, and I don't think it was associated with where the building is.
Well, one of the interesting things here, if you take a look at where that's located, Chip Ganassi's shop in the Charlotte area or Concord area is located on a piece of property that's connected to the airstrip, which is the Concord Regional Airport. Right. So when you take a look at it, their shop, and then they got their airplanes are right there. Hendrick is about, maybe 3 miles away, right next to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So maybe he's wanting the property. He can fly directly out of there because Roush is also right down the street from it. Another thing they said is that it looks like Hendrick is going to own the building, but Trackhouse is going to rent the building.
Oh, okay.
So Trackhouse was associated with Richard Childress. I mean, that's where they've been running their car out of the Childress' shop. So now, is this a way for Trackhouse to get an alliance with Hendrick now instead of Childress, which would definitely up the ante with their cars?
Ooh, I like that crayon book.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense.
Trying to read between the lines, that's kind of what it's looking like.
Yeah, and if you want to fly out of our airstrip, come on over.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I could see Hendrick's setting up Hendrick Air right out of that facility, just like Roush has done it, because from Roush's shop you can walk to the airstrip.
Yeah. So if you look at how that's set up, Roush's shop would be on the south end of that property, and Ganassi's shop is up on the north end of that property, and they're all kind of connected to that big airstrip there.
Boy, that makes a lot of sense. Brian, you come out with some pretty good ideas there, and that maybe they're going to change. That would be quite a step up for their program to go from Childress to Hendrick. By the way, still remain Chevrolets, but Trackhouse is on the right path. They seem to have done some things right early in the going already, especially to have that 99 car competitive once in a while. Who expected that? Not me. I thought it was going to be another typical back marker, and it certainly has not done that. By the way, I was thinking about these back markers and how we get frustrated watching guys get lapped every couple of laps and racing around them constantly. And, it's one of those things. Be careful what you wish for. It wasn't that long ago when they were trying to figure out a problem to the start and park issue. And this is what they came up with. Start and park has been replaced by perpetual back markers. This is what you get. Not everybody can have a car that runs up front.
Right, and then back markers have been part of the sport forever and ever. I mean, right? Remember Del McCowart? Never won a race, but never lost a party. I mean, he was always around.
Edna Gree, there's a good one. How many races? That guy never finished on a lead lap in his life. And remember the '64 car, the Sonny King Honda Ford.
Is that Lenny Pond? Is that his name driving that car?
Lenny Pond won a race. Lenny Pond won at Talladega.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he wasn't a typical back marker. Not a whole lot of back markers won races. A few of them have, but that's one of the great stories when that happens. But so it wasn't that long ago that there would be 22 cars running at the end of the race, and 20 cars would be in the garage. And everybody say, well, what the hell is this? These guys are supposed to be racing all race. Who started that? Wasn't it our own? The guy that just retired from Texas, Eddie Gossage. It was his thing that said, why do we have all these start and parks? We need guys to stay on the track.
Yeah, and people found out that they could make a pretty decent living doing that start and park thing. I mean, we knew some guys that would, park after a couple of laps and actually came out money ahead, and that's why they had to put an end to that, because it was getting to be more profitable to just park your car than actually race it.
Well, I mean, and I've told this story. I don't know if I ever told it on the air, but I probably did. Back in the day when our old friend Jason Schuler, Racing Jason, was running the number 73 unsponsored white car with a red number on it in the what's now the Xfinity Series, was a Busch car, and every week he'd roll out, buy a set of tires, qualify for the race, run 3 laps, take it off the track, pack up, and get ready for the next race. And I'd say to him, Jason, here's Todd the mailman here. Jason, why do you want to be a back marker, a professional start and parker? And he said, quote, I made $400,000 last year. How much did you make?
Yeah.
That might tell you
That's
something.
what NASCAR's trying to get away from. And I think when it's all said and done, we're going to have 36 starters and 36 charters and no more of this other stuff.
I don't know how you get it where you're going to have 36 teams that are that good, because it's just not possible. I mean, IndyCar right now is the closest thing to it, and they have like 26 cars now, and AJ Foyt's teams are 24 or 20, 24 to 26 cars in each race, and AJ Foyt's cars still aren't competitive. I mean, they put Bourdais in it to try to get it, but that's the closest series to where almost every car has a shot to win a race. But in the Cup Series, I just don't know how you're ever going to get Rick Ware to have cars that competitive.
Well,
he's going to.
You don't need, Formula One does it with 20 cars.
Yeah, and there's only 4 of them that are good.
Right, I know, but there's so much unpackaging there. There's so much to unpackage in that whole Formula One deal. It's exciting, and the same with the IndyCar series. I think they're looking to get it up with 24 cars, and it's not. You don't need 40 cars on a racetrack to put on a good show.
Well, I mean, that is true. I kept thinking that next year's rules are going to make it where back markers might not run around the back all the time. So
when you look at Rick Ware's team, you just still scratch your head and say, I don't know if they're ever going to be a team that's going to be able to stay on the lead lap all day. I just don't think so.
There's excuses all for everything. We'll be back.
Attention race fans, Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin now has 2022 season passes available at discount pricing. The earlier you buy, the more you save, and it makes a great gift for yourself or the motorsport enthusiast on your list. This includes over 50 days of action-packed racing, including NASCAR Cup Series, IndyCar, Moto America, and IMSA Sports Car. Don't wait. Get your 2022 Road America season discounted passes today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
This weekend, we're in Vegas.
Start your engines! Let's go!
Crank them up, King. Crank them up. It's the South Point 400.
Here comes Larson. He's going to make a move quickly on Harvick. Larson to the inside, and to the outside is William Byron.
Truex drops down to the bottom of the racetrack. Hamlin goes back up to the top side. Now it's 3 wide. Harvick, McDowell, Chase Elliott in turn 1.
A little Sunday night action. Coverage starts at 5 on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR. The Big 920 at big920.com.
Our Facebook listeners, which we really enjoy some of the comments that are on there. Jim Sabeck says Camaro is going to be an electric 4-door in 24. Well, now I thought they were going to do away with Camaros completely. Wasn't it just going to be SUVs and trucks where all Chevy was going to be producing? I don't even know. But Dan, a friend of yours just bought one of those Mach-E, and they have the nerve of calling it a Mustang.
Yeah, a friend. It's a friend of a friend kind of thing. I saw him this past week, and he said, "Yeah, my friend just bought an electric Mustang." And I'm like, "What do you mean an electric Mustang?" And he's like, "I said this doesn't sound right, but he did."
And
so it makes no noise. I mean, it sounds like a Formula E car. You step on it, it sounds like a sewing machine.
I don't know. Ed had a good idea. What it comes with, Ed?
Comes with a CD with a throaty big V8 sound
to play on your.
Turn up the volume.
A funny story of that. A couple of years ago, the IndyCar race, I think it was at Pocono, was delayed till Monday, and I had it on the Sirius channel, and I was going to lunch, and I had the thing cranked up as loud as I could, and my windows were down because it was a nice day. And one of those cars, I go pew pew pew. People were turning around like I was passing them like an IndyCar.
There you go. That's the future of electric cars. Comes with a sound system, so you can crank it up with a big fat 4-barrel on it, sucking gasoline. Oh man, opening wide. It sounds like a car. There you go. that comes optional sound system with a Mustang Mach-E. Or any electric, for that matter. Those electric cars are pretty amazing. I hate to say nice things about them. They're the fastest cars on the road, aren't they?
Yeah, I think
until the battery goes dead.
Yeah, and I mean, from a safety standpoint, because of my background, they are the scariest cars to pull up to an accident or to a car fire. Or, I mean, we've seen videos of some of these Teslas that are like they have a fire. I don't know how they have a fire because they don't have the components in there to create a car fire like you normally have on the side of the road. But anyway, they do. And I've heard guys having to use, 30,000 gallons of water to try to put the damn thing out because they just won't go out.
Well, electrical fires, you shouldn't be putting water on anyway, should you?
Well, I mean, whatever you got to eat, a lot of times that you don't know what you have burning until you get up there to figure it out. So now fast forward and think about racing these things. I don't know. I mean, you're going to take a car with a massive battery in it and pile it into a wall. You're going to have acid everywhere. You're going to have a mess. I just don't know how. There's a lot of work that has to be done yet before we decide we're going to race these things on a regular basis and have them hit things. Because right now, I don't think they're designed to do a lot of hitting with them.
I think you're right about that.
Hey, speaking of fires, did you see that Texas Motor Speedway? They had some kind of a event there with a bunch of different vendors. It wasn't a race, but one of their propane tanks blew up. It was pretty crazy on the video.
Yeah,
nobody got hurt. Wow.
Right. There there is some video of it. Recently I read. Now, of course I don't know much about these electrical cars. Actually, I don't know much about any car actually, but they're saying that this Tesla is by far the fastest car on the road. It doesn't make a sound. You put it to the floor and it can beat a 700 plus horsepower Mopar. I don't really understand that. How can that be, and why do they need that much power out of an electric car?
That was one of the last projects that Michael had with Bilstein, was that car ride control system.
Oh.
That he was involved in that one, but he was explaining, calling me and telling me about some of the weird stuff that was on that car. They couldn't find what a windshield washer unit was, and Michael had to go in and read online with the console to find a button you push to open up the windshield washer part.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy.
It's relearning things, right?
All I can say is, folks, I'm closer to the end than the beginning.
All you could do is read about it and think what the future is going to look like. And, are they all going to be electric cars? It depends who keeps getting elected. It seems like it's such a political football that there's a lot more interest in this green business with one of the two parties. And
might be going that way. Brian, what's the sports cars going towards? What's that hypercar stuff? That's along the same line. I'm not sure what that was about.
Yeah, that's a hypercar also. That's going to have some of like a regenerating type thing on it. It's going to be an electrical thing. I mean, those guys a lot of the stuff with the sports car stuff is more about the endurance behind it. They're going to show that their electric type car can run for like 24 hours and stuff like that. So I think there's a little more legitimacy to it when you're looking at the sports car type stuff than there is with short track or stock car type racing, in my opinion anyway. So I think that's where it's starting. But, those manufacturers are behind it. Toyota's been doing this hypercar thing for a while. I don't know what the other manufacturers are. The one Penske's going to be, is that Porsche, I think? I think they're getting involved in it in a couple of years. So that's where those things are going. I think, Ed, doesn't Formula One have something to do with some electrical type thing too?
Oh, yeah, they're hybrids. They're all hybrids, yeah.
A hybrid and electrical are, two different things, correct?
Well, the hybrid is half electric and half gas.
Okay.
All right. And then you have to harvest. You always hear them talk on harvesting energy in Formula One, because the braking system is what harvests the electricity for the motor, and you watch your amperage, like a gas gauge for the electric motor, and when it gets down to a certain point, well, then they have to back off, start driving differently to harvest more electricity to put it in it's a mess.
There's a lot of people that know about that. Go ahead, Brian.
And I think that's where the road racing thing, when you're harvesting the energy from the brake, the heats that you create with your braking, that's where you're going to get it to work more. I don't know how that would work in an oval track type setting. I think that's where it would be difficult to figure out how a hybrid type thing would work, where you need to go all electrical if you're going to do, oval track racing.
Yeah, my brother just bought a Toyota hybrid SUV. And I was a passenger in the thing recently, and watching this fancy dashboard in there, they have a graph of the electrical system, and it tells which direction the electricity is running. And it runs two different ways. It'll either be using the battery or charging the battery. And then it shows, there's arrows pointing all over the place showing which way the power is going. I'm going, geez. Now this is a hybrid, not an electric. Electric, don't you have to have some fancy electric source to charge your car overnight?
Yes.
Well, where's the power coming from for that?
I think Formula E races, they swap cars midway through the race. They bring two cars. One of them sitting there plugged in, the other one isn't. And instead of, pitting the changing tires and all that, the guy hops out and hops in another car, and then he takes off.
They do that in Formula E racing. Instead of putting gas in the car, they just switch cars and go to a fully charged car.
Oh,
That's a terrible thing.
It's quiet. I know that the big cities like it because you don't really know what's going on.
Well, that part, I suppose, emissions. But really, you're going to need the power to charge the thing up sooner or later. Where's that power coming from?
Well,
Doesn't that come from
That's the
Power
argument
plants?
behind it all. Exactly. So, I mean, it's just kind of a cat chasing its tail. If you really sit down and think about it, that's really all it is a cat chasing its tail. Because
what's
one
that
way or
country
another,
that Sleepy Joe just pulled out of?
good time for the music.
Yeah. He doesn't pull out of many countries. He's investing in other countries. We'll be back.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
Attention race fans, Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin now has 2022 season passes available at discount pricing. The earlier you buy, the more you save, and it makes a great gift for yourself or the motorsport enthusiast on your list. This includes over 50 days of action-packed racing, including NASCAR Cup Series, IndyCar, Moto America, and IMSA Sports Car. Don't wait. Get your 2022 Road America season discounted passes today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
This week on NASCAR Live, we talk NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs.
And when you're in these playoffs, every point's going to matter. Every point's going to count. And I'm excited to see what we're able to pull off, what we're able to do. And we've put ourselves in good position the last couple of years, and I hope that we can do the same thing again this year, but maybe up the ante a little bit whenever we get to Phoenix for the final round.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Tuesday night following Jim Trado and Racing Roundup on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR, the Big 920 and Big920.com.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
The late season fall specials continue around dirt racing here. We'll start Thursday night up in Spring Valley, Minnesota. The Deer Creek Speedway, the USMTS Modified Fall Jamboree got underway. Night number 1, 3,000 win for the Modifieds. That went to Jake Tim. Brownstown, Indiana, Thursday night, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Indiana Icebreaker. Yeah, it sounds like a strange name for this time of year. That's because it was weathered out back in March. So they made it up Thursday night. $15,000 to win for the late models. That went to Brandon Shepard. Friday night, Dodge County was supposed to run the IRA race. They went 3 for 3 this year on rainouts. We did not get a single IRA race in at Dodge County this year, so that one rained out. Night number 2 at Spring Valley, Minnesota, Deer Creek Speedway for the Fall Jamboree. 5,000 win for the Modifieds. Jake Tim won that one. Brownstown, Indiana, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. The night before the Jackson 100, 10,000 to win for the Super Late Models. That went to Tyler Erb. Rossburg, Ohio, the Eldora Speedway for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. Logan Schuchart was your winner there Friday night. Last night at Plymouth, the September Sprintacular, they called it. Sprint cars galore there. The IRA 410 Sprints were the headliner. Noah Gass picked up his second win at Plymouth. He had a last lap pass of Danny Schlafer. Noah Gass. He's an 18-year-old kid from Oklahoma.
He kind of ran Schlafer out of room, huh?
What's that?
He kind of ran Schlafer out of room on it,
Yeah,
too.
he did. He did the same thing back on Fair Night to Scotty Thiel. Kind of ran Scotty Thiel out of room on the inside. Last night he ran Danny Schlafer out of room on the outside. Danny's this close to winning his first IRA race. I felt bad for him. The crowd went crazy when he actually took the lead, but just not enough. So your 2021 IRA champion is Jake Blackhurst. The MSA 360 Sprint Car feature winner was Jack Vanderboom, another 18-year-old kid. Picked up his first ever win there. Your 2021 MSA champion and Plymouth Track champion went to Travis Aaron. He got his great redemption this year from last year's deal, so congratulations to him. The RA wingless sprints were also there. Tim Cox was your feature winner, and your 2021 champion was Ryan Marshall. Yesterday up at Francis Creek, Wisconsin, the 141 Speedway, it's the Creeks Classic, they call it. Friday night rained out, so they had a full day of racing yesterday. The Friday night makeup feature winners, Jared Seifert won in the modifieds, Aaron Stolp won in the stock cars, and Cody Wirtz won in the Grand Nationals. And then they started all over again and ran Saturday night's program. Tim Sarneski won in the modifieds. Stock cars went to Kyle Frederick, and the Grand Nationals went to Ryan Minster. Over in Menominee, Wisconsin, the Red Cedar Speedway, the Punky Manor Challenge of Champions, 4,000 to win for the Wissota late models. Jimmy Mars was your winner. In the Wissota modifieds, that went to Ashley Anderson. The final night at Deer Creek Speedway for the USMTS Fall Jamboree, 10,000 to win for the USMTS modifieds. Jake O'Neill was your winner. Down in Banner, Illinois, the Spoon River Speedway for the Mars Dirt Car Series, 5,000 to win. That went to Bobby Pierce. Your Mars champion for this year is Brian Shirley. Rossburg, Ohio, the Eldora Speedway, the Four Crown Nationals. The All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Car feature winner was Rico Abreu. I believe that's his first feature win of the year, so congratulations to him. The USAC non-wing 410 sprints, that went to Tyler Courtney. The USAC midgets, Chris Wyndham. And the USAC Silver Crown car feature winner was Logan Seavey. Brownstown, Indiana, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Jackson 100, $20,000 to win for the Super Late Models, went to Jimmy Owens. Sarver, Pennsylvania, Lernerville Speedway, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, David Gravel was your winner. And finally, in Chatham, Louisiana, the Super B Speedway, it was the Super B 100, $50,001 to win for a 604 crate. And the winner was Joseph Joyner, a guy who you may be familiar with if you follow the Hunt to Front series on YouTube. That is the guy who picked up the win. So congrats. $50,000 to win a 604 crate. Insane. But that's the money they're giving out these days in dirt late model racing. That is everything I have this week.
Thanks to Paul Reichert. There's not a whole lot of results from the world of asphalt. We're winding down in these parts. Last week at Slinger Speedway, it was the Wisconsin Invitational Bracket Racing. I don't really understand it. Don't ask me to explain it. The A feature was won by Dave Edwards. The double A feature was Wayne Sonkowski. The B feature was Phil Maloff. And the double B feature was Davey Pennell. And there you have it. Now, this weekend, they're racing up at Dells Raceway Park. Friday night, they got rained out. Last night, they had a bunch of races. The CWRA late models, Tristan Swanson won it, and the 21 champion is Jeff Weinfurter. In the late models, Mike Litchfield wins again. He is just amazing up there at Dells Raceway Park. In the modifieds, it was Justin Okrulica. In the legends, it was a second-generation racer, Kendrick Cryer, Frank's kid. In the bandits, it was Jordan Hoffman. And in the hobby stocks, they had a triple crown. Round 3, Mike Krieger Jr. and Travis Volm won them. And the overall champion was Dave Trout in the hobby stocks. Today, as a public service announcement, they're running the Tundra Championship up there at 2 o'clock. Packers and the Vegas race don't start till later, so if you're in the neighborhood, you might stop by. This coming Saturday at Rockford, it's the Rich Bickle Twin 45s. It's the race that Brad Miller put together, a stout invitational field, but it will include some of the all-time greats of racing from these parts. And how about this trio of Hall of Famers from the Slinger Speedway, Tony Strupp, Lowell Bennett, and the return of Al Schill this coming Saturday at Rockford Speedway.
And then Sunday in the Big 8 race, Jerry Eckert's going to run the Big 8 race there. So all weekend long, it looks like it'll be kind of cool. I'm going to go check it out.
That's, old folks.
And then, of course, in 2 weeks, we got the big Oktoberfest weekend up on La Crosse. I plan on heading up there. This year, the baseball schedule, the playoff games will be right during it, so I'm going to miss the first 2 playoff games to go up there to Oktoberfest. But big racing weekend up there for that, too.
And also this weekend is the wide open Wisconsin Power Sports Show in Washington County Fairgrounds, where Hefter Racing Products and has got a nice display up there this afternoon from 10 till 3. Conrad Morgan's got a couple of cars out there. Kind of interesting swap meet.
Neat. All right, there's a couple other news items still that we didn't mention in NASCAR. Rodney Childers, you've heard him mentioned, sounds like he's Ed's favorite crew chief. He signed a multi-year extension to stay with Stewart Haas Racing. That means, for the most part, that it won't be with Harvick for all that many years, because Harvick's time is short. He's in his mid 40s, and as we've learned, you don't stick around too much longer after that. We've got a couple other tidbits we'll bring you after this break. You're listening to LTN here on the Big 920.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Attention race fans, Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin now has 2022 season passes available at discount pricing. The earlier you buy, the more you save, and it makes a great gift for yourself or the motorsport enthusiast on your list. This includes over 50 days of action-packed racing, including NASCAR Cup Series, IndyCar, Moto America, and IMSA Sports Car. Don't wait. Get your 2022 Road America season discounted passes today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
This weekend, we're in Vegas.
Start your engines! Let's go!
Crank them up, King. Crank them up. It's the South Point 400.
Here comes Larson. He's going to make a move quickly on Harvick. Larson to the inside, and to the outside is William Byron.
Truex drops down to the bottom of the racetrack. Hamlin goes back up to the top side. Now it's three wide. Harvick, McDowell, Chase Elliott in turn one.
A little Sunday night action. Coverage starts at 5 on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR. The Big 920 at Big920.com.
Well, we can jump into this report. The Athletic is reporting that the Xfinity Series is finalizing a deal to come to Portland International Raceway that would bring NASCAR to the Great Northwest. They've raced out there before. I remember, didn't Bickle win a race in Washington at some track up in Washington one time?
The Evergreen Speedway, they call that.
That's it. Yeah, I remember that. But this is a kind of a big deal. What do we know about that Portland track? Is it a road course?
Yeah, it's a road course. The IndyCar has run there for a while. They just went back there like this year or last year, didn't they, Brian?
Yeah. This was the second. Well, they didn't run there the year before because you're not going to race in Portland during the pandemic, obviously. But ARCA has been up there the last couple of years. The old NASCAR West Series ran there a lot. It says the Truck Series ran there in 99 and 2000. I don't offhand remember that, but it's a smaller track. I think it's under 2 miles in distance. It really doesn't have a lot of elevation, kind of flat. It's kind of in the middle of the city, actually, drag strip kind of deal. So, if you think about the Xfinity Series, they don't have many now that Road America has a cup race. I think Mid-Ohio is their only standalone event. So I'm sure they're looking for some standalone events now to get the Xfinity Series a little bit more exposure, because that's what that's what they've gone away from. So this is a good start. I don't ever see a cup race out there. That place, the infrastructure is not set up for it. So I wouldn't worry about that, really.
What I remember the most about Portland was in the 80s, they had an IndyCar race there, and Mario Andretti beat Michael Andretti in the closest finish ever on Father's Day. I don't know what year that was, 86, 87 or something. I just remember watching that race.
It's a drag strip down the front straightaway, and then they have a chicane kind of midway down it, which is absolute chaos. If anybody saw the ARCA race from 2 weeks ago there, they wadded up a whole bunch of cars there. I mean, if you get 40 Xfinity cars thundering to that chicane, I don't know how they're all going to come out of it. So hopefully they have a lot of practice so the guys can get used to it, because otherwise you're going to have just carnage up to wazoo at that place when you take the green flag.
They just want to see what NASCAR would be like in the Great Northwest. They've, like I said, they dabbled in it before, but now they're gonna. Well, at least it's a rumor at this point. But I got to say the Athletic usually gets it right.
Yeah, they're the same ones that came out with the rumor about the Coliseum, and they were right.
Yeah, well, I wonder where they get their information from. They got to have some pretty good
LTN Radio
sources.
Network.
Yeah, that must be it. There's this TV contract. Dan, when does this current TV contract come to an end? Is it after next year?
I think 24.
24. There's already some talk from the people involved that there is going to be, quote, some streaming in the new TV contract. Some streaming means you're going to be paying to watch races on the internet rather than being able to watch them somewhere on either cable or on regular television. We've talked that might be a possibility, but already they're starting to beat the drum. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I think it could be coming. Now, remember, Speed 51 is owned by the Race Team Alliance, right? The RTA. Right. And didn't they just hire some executives to run their digital corporation, or they're like, so I wonder if there's something going on back there. Maybe that would involve them. Maybe, I don't know. A lot of people are leaving jobs and moving and not saying what they're doing yet. Saying like John Roberts says he's going to come back on TV. He can't say yet where he'll be. I mean, I wonder if that's got something to do with this. I don't really know for sure. I'm just kind of putting things together.
And remember, next year, NBCSN is going away. So IndyCar has got a little bit of taste of what they're going to be like because their schedule came out. And they are a full NBC affiliate. Their series is on NBC. And one of their races next year is going to be on the Peacock network. It's not going to be on live TV. Like 2 of them are going to be on the USA network, and all the rest of them are going to be on the big network. So now
USA. It sounds like it's where we're headed, right? At least for a while.
Yeah. So now you got to try to fit in. Where is the Cup Series going to fit in with there? IndyCar has been with NBC a long time, and somehow they were able to get their foot in the door first and say, this is where we want our races, So you got to see how they're going to fit. Prime example would be July 3rd. We did it this year. We had the Mid-Ohio IndyCar race was before, the Cup race at Road America, and then flip that. When the IndyCar race was at Road America, that race was first, and then they went to Nashville. So I think you're going to see a lot of the back-to-backs, but you're going to see it on the national network instead of NBCSN. So good for exposure, but then you also got to think about, where the big golf events are going to fit in. Like, okay, today we have the Ryder Cup going on. If you don't have an NBCSN, Cup races at the end of the day. So that's perfect. So you're going to see scheduling going around the major events now a lot more than we had before because, especially with NBC, they don't have that extra network to put it on.
They did that with the IndyCar race at Road America a week earlier next year. It's not on Father's Day. It's like June 12th, I think, and it's because of a golf event.
Because of the U.S. Open. Yep, because of the U.S. Open.
So. Streaming is a good safety net for all of these companies. They're going to have them worked into the contract, obviously, but you never have to worry about where to put it if you've got this streaming thing going. Peacock is a pretty big deal, and they're pushing it pretty hard. I can see why. Do any of you guys have Peacock? You know what it costs?
I got the free version of it. I didn't pay anything, and you could watch like Junior's Lost Speedways. That's what I signed up for a couple years ago to watch a lot of that, and there was no cost to it. So I don't know if that's changed. I haven't looked lately.
You can buy a premium. It's either or. You get the free program or premium.
So my guess would be for live sports like NASCAR, they're not gonna want you to have to pay to watch it because unless people are going to do it. So I would guess that's going to be on the free version. I mean, during the Olympics, I put it on my daughter's TV upstairs, and she could watch the Olympics because it's not hooked up to our satellite, and it's a streaming one, and it was actually pretty easy to do.
Oh, boy, there's so much to it. There's so much to realize. There's so much to, and the contract that's coming is going to be very complex. That's for sure. Maybe it'll be like Speed 51. You have to pay to belong to Speed 51, and then if you want to watch specific races, you have to pay again. What the hell?
NASCAR.tv could be out there.
Oh, it could be coming. Hey, thanks for tuning into the program. We do appreciate it. We hope that you watch tonight's event or listen right here on the Big 920. Coverage starts at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Will be televised NBCSN. The green flag is at 6:19. Gets started before the Packer game, so be sure to tune in. And as we like everybody to remember, real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our in-house engineer, website coordinator, and king of the knobs is Matt Hangover Losi. For the entire group, we love you, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.